The year
That's it's not guaranteed that you ever get back. That's what a lot of young NFL players don't realize. You go early in your career, or you make the Super Bowl early in your career, and you maybe lose or whatever. It's not guaranteed that you're gonna get back because every year the teams are different. Every year the teams are different, especially if you got a bunch of good players on, high end contracts. Them owners gonna be like, we can't continue to pay this, and they gonna break that stuff up. I mean, this is a different sport, but just look at Boston. Got rid of Porzingis, got rid of Drew. Hey, Tatum still hurt. Who knows what they gonna look like?
we got to the Super Bowl. We lost it to Pittsburgh. The following year, we made the playoffs. We lost to the Saints, who ended up winning the Super Bowl. And then we made the playoffs my first year in Baltimore. The second year, we made it to the AFC Championship, and we missed the field goal to tie it in New England. And then we came back the same year, same exact game against New England, and we smashed them. Like,
see how you remember all the ones you lost?
That's because Joe was on that magical run, and well, not just Joe, but Joe had a lot. Joe had no turnovers that playoff run, none.
You can run through the ones you lost like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
You can run through the ones you lost. But they had you on the sideline saying, we ain't losing this game.
Yeah.
Was that because you had lost before? You like,
yeah.
ain't no way in hell
Yeah.
I ain't getting it done this time.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
gotta
You
have.
remember that.
Another part that intrigued me from this interview was him talking about how team building and the dynamic of team building, and maybe if you remove a certain element from the locker, how it falters, or just guys just rocking with each other. Let's see what he said about that.
GMs, they look at just the talent.
Yeah.
And they don't understand like how a locker room works. There's one guy in the locker room who you cannot remove from the locker room.
In every sport,
In every sport.
That's-
Every
that-
team.
And
know
if you
what? That's a
remove
great
that
point.
one guy from the locker room,
I agree with that.
it's gonna tear the whole
That's a
locker
great
room
point,
apart.
dog.
You see it
That's
all
a
the time.
great point.
And
That's
they
a great point.
don't get that.
No, 100%
And they think it's that there's a lot of great head coaches out there.
Yep.
But head coaches do not run the team.
No.
No?
When you win championships,
It's your best players.
It's
Or
your
one
players
player.
that
Yeah,
run the
100%,
team.
100%.
Yes.
all of the championship teams that I've been on have actually been run by players.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Like, and I'm no disrespect, I've had some great coaches.
Yep.
But if a coach has to coach every day,
You get a bad team.
your team ain't gonna be that good.
You know that, Mike. You remember there was times in the game, and as great as Spo was, there were times in the game where Braun would be like, don't even look over there.
Yeah,
Don't look at him.
and we're not doing that.
Yeah, we can't. He can't help us.
There was times in the when I played in Baltimore, there was time where we not doing that.
Yeah.
When I was in Arizona, I remember when
So that's a great point, man. I love that, and we'll probably use that for the rest of my time. If a coach got to coach you every day, especially on that level, you're a bad team. You're a bad team. Because you're an adult at 23, 24, 25. You've been playing football probably since 14. There are some things you don't need to be coached on. Some stuff just need to be strategy. And if they coaching you every day, that's a great point. So in this clip, he's going to talk about his role with Baltimore once he got in and got, situated and playing and, in a Super Bowl run or whatever. And also, he's going to back up a story that Ed Reed told a long time ago about the players versus John. So let's take a look at this. Take a listen at this.
touch the ball. Like, and that's legit. Yeah. But when I got to Baltimore, it was different. Like, the team was built different. It was run the ball and defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the culture in Baltimore. Now, you add in a playmaker who can, make plays when you need them. Like, you ain't got to throw me the ball 10 times a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to go hit somebody.
Yeah.
I want to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that. But, like, when it comes down to it, you need a clutch third down.
Yeah.
You need a touch. whatever it is. Okay,
The real
let's
shit.
rock.
I'm here.
So, and that was his role. And when you got a number one, that's his role. Like, I'm gonna get my few lick catches from time to time, but for the most part, clutch third down, set the tone on offense, and red zone touchdowns. And make the exceptional play every now and again. Make a play where, okay, it's just a 50-50 ball. I got to trust you to go get it. And we know Anquan came down with 80% of 50-50 balls. So they was 80-20 balls in his case. But let's keep going when he talk about the Super Bowl run and, like I said, backing up a story that Ed told a long time ago.
Talk about that Super Bowl run with the Baltimore Ravens and how you brought them up.
That was crazy. A lot of people don't know it was a lot of drama going on that year.
Really?
Oh yeah. We got into it with the coach again. Some vets in the locker room. It was just, he had his way of doing things, and we felt like in order for us to win, we had to change some of the things that we were doing. Mm-hmm. So, we had some vets in the locker room. We had a come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
And it was
gotta have them.
It was uncomfortable for the coaches.
Yeah.
But I felt like after that meeting, you know what I'm saying, they knew where we stood, and you know what I'm saying, they let us rock out. And from that point on, like, you know how you just hit, like everything started hitting, you know what I'm saying? And you started getting in that groove, and then once the playoffs hit, like, we were rolling.
But
Now, the thing about that is shortly thereafter, anybody that would have had the gall to call that meeting or make those, I want to say criticisms, they weren't there too much longer. Because remember, Ray retired after that. Ed shortly was shipped off to the Jets and then to Houston maybe. Suggs was the only one that was the only guy that I think stayed around. Nada wasn't there too much longer. Then we ended up with, throughout the late teens, the late 2000 teens, just yes men, and we were 8-8 bound for a long time, until a certain 8 entered the building. All right, this is the last part I'm going to show right here, and the reason I'm interested in this and I like this part because this guy, in my opinion, is not talked about enough as how important he was to the Baltimore Ravens. I feel like the job that he did allowed Ray to be Ray. And not saying Ray wouldn't have been Ray without him, but I feel like Goose was a certain way, which allowed Ray to do what he needed to do. And then this dude right here was a certain way, which allowed Ray to do what he do.
Two dudes on defense that people don't talk about. So when I got to Baltimore, Haloti Ngata, I didn't even know who Haloti Ngata was when I came from Arizona. So bro, when we were in training camp, they would let him sit out individual drills, like offense and defense.
Didn't want to get hurt, probably.
I'm like, bro, why is he sitting out? Like, who is this dude? So we go team, they let him sit out. So I'm like, bro, who is this dude? Man, we played the Jets the first game. When I tell you, he is literally taking the ball out of the quarterback's hand as he's handing it to the running back. I said, yeah, he legit, bro.
Yeah, he can sit out.
If you don't double team him, bro, he's gonna wreck your game. Wow. And then I get to San Francisco.
And then he talked about Alden for a minute then. But Haloti was one of them guys, man. Haloti was the guy that if you didn't put 2 people on him, you wasn't running the ball. And most of the time when he got solo blocked, he destroyed whatever the offensive lineman was in front of him. But, this really, all of the interesting points that I took from Anquan's episode on the OGs podcast with Udonis Haslam and Mike Miller, man. So let me know what you think about this episode. So I do have a question, though. They mentioned about taking a certain individual out of the locker room that would mess up the entire locker room. Outside of the obvious person that's on the team now, who would they take out? Who's that glue guy in the locker room now that it just can't be taken off the team? Now we know. I don't even think it's Lamar, because Lamar is not. We don't know Lamar to be very vocal. He may be coming into that on his own, but what guy do you think is like that I can't take him out of the locker room or the team's gonna falter. And to me right now, that's Ronnie. I think it's Ronnie. And secondary, as corny as he be sometimes, the other one might be Marlon. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all later on the power rankings later on. Peace and love.